All right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom. Bless you. Straightway worldwide. This is Brother Steve from Straightway NYC. Signing in real quick because I want to chat with you guys a little bit about uh, the goodness of the Most High in my life for sure. Um, just a little bit about me. Um, I have been in Straightway Truth Ministry led by my shepherd, Pastor Dowell, for about 5 years now. And um, honestly, I don't know what my life would be like without the influences of this ministry on this earth, led by a very honorable shepherd, probably the most honorable and the most um, renowned pastor that I've ever met, Pastor Charles Dowell. And I don't say that lightly because he's a man that does not lead with just words, but he leads in doing. And I'm really putting out this video to give a thanks to him for a long time ago, almost 20, 30 years ago, listening to the voice of the Most High and following that still small voice that he heard to obey the word rather than man. And because of his example, I'm able to give the testimony I'm giving to you guys right now. So first off, I want to talk about hearing. I say hearing because coming to this ministry, I did not know the art of hearing. I actually had to be taught how to hear. Definitely when the world talks about hearing, it's simply sound waves hitting your ears. But because the book, the scriptures, the Bible is a concrete book, I actually learned that hearing has less to do with the sound waves, but more of the action you do after the sound waves penetrate your ears. And the scripture is clear, you can't hear without a preacher. And my shepherd just happens to be the preacher that I and the Spirit has led me to follow, Pastor Charles Dowell. And because I heard his voice and he spoke clear and I could hear it, I followed suit. And a preacher cannot preach unless he's sent, not by mother, not by father, but sent by the Most High Yah. So I have followed what my shepherd has instructed, and blessings from it. So I say all this because coming to the ministry so many years ago, I actually was in an astronomical amount of debt. Me and my wife, Sister Esther, all together we had about, I want to say $150,000 of debt. And even me saying that number and all the work that has been done to get that number down, even me thinking about it, that number is a crazy amount of money. And all that debt has to do from our school loans, credit cards before the faith. And a lot of the reasons why we find ourselves in the hole that we find ourselves in because we were not following what the book said. We were not taught a lot of these structures and principles. And Pastor Charles Dowell, crying aloud, sparing not, showed us the errors of our ways and how we should not be in that amount of debt. If you are, you need to get out of it. And coming into ministry 5 years ago, about $150,000 in debt. Now, of course, I went to school to be a nurse. Esther was a teacher. I have my bachelor's. She has her master's. So we all know schooling in America is very, very expensive. So all that, the majority of it was all school loans. And I was married to Sally Mae, that old Sally. Married to her for a while. And I'm actually proud to say, as of a few weeks ago, I actually paid off all of our debt free. $150,000 worth of debt coming into this ministry gone. And I did it because I had to see it done first, unfortunately. But for sure, Pastor Dowell, hearing his testimony about how when he heard the voice of the Most High Yah, long time ago, he himself had to work very hard to get out of that debt, because the word's clear that you owe no man nothing but to love him, nothing. And there's a freedom in not owing the system anything. So Pastor Dowell's testimony of how he got out of debt really hit me, because one thing that he's always taught me in terms of leadership is that you are to take away all excuses. Take away all excuses. And in his testimony, he did that for us. And he does that for us time and time again as to all the things that he's done in his life. So him coming to the truth, he knew he couldn't be in debt. So he worked his butt off, working 2, 3, 4 jobs. When I heard that, I was like, wow. So guess what? I had to follow suit. So me as a nurse, I think I'm blessed because I was actually able to go to college and actually have a job where I could actually make good money, so that I could support a family, support the saints, support as I can. So again, graduating, a lot of debt, but with hard work, I had to pick up 2, even 3 jobs at a time just to work for the past, 5 years, taking my debt seriously, hearing what he said and following through. And it's gotten to a point, I'll say even the last 2 years now, I've been operating on about 4 hours of sleep, max. And my body's almost adjusted to it. Like I can't see myself sleeping past 5, 6 hours. And clearly that's not healthy. But I had to learn that first, if the man before me was able to do it, I could do it. I could do it. So I did it. I worked 3 jobs, 2 hospitals, CPR instructor on the side, whatever I could to get that debt down. I paid off my wife's debt first. When she first came to ministry, she had about $35,000, $40,000 in debt. I almost had $100,000. And I still remember sitting in his office and asking him how to appropriately get rid of this thing. He just said, work. That's what I did. Work. And I hope you guys understand, $150,000 is no easy task to take out. So I saw the numbers before me and I said, without a vision, we will perish. So I set my goals and I just worked my rear end off. And I think the last maybe year, 2 years, I think I probably amped it up, where I used to work, 4 days a week. Now I've been doing like 4, maybe 5, 6 days, every day except Shabbat, operating on 4 hours of sleep. And doing that, it took a lot of sacrifice, especially because obviously I'm a father now. And coming home, seeing my baby daughter and having to only spend an hour with her, if that, knowing I got to get my sleep, got to get up, got to head back to work, back to back. Got brothers, saints around me that want to chop it up, fellowship, and knowing that I got to focus on this task because I got to find myself obedient to what the word says and not to owe no man anything but to love him. So it was very hard. A lot of days where I had to juggle, but I definitely appreciate the support cast that I had for sure. The saints' encouragement, definitely my wife, Sister Esther, that has always been an amazing support, knowing that my love for Yah is primary in my life. So I got to obey him. And by my example, she follows suit. So I know that coming to this ministry, I had to really take time to correct my mistakes from the past. And working was my only option because I saw my shepherd do it first. One thing that I learned definitely on this road to getting out of debt was living simple, very simple. One thing that I learned that in the past, a lot of things that I had, it was because of wants, not because of needs, because of the lust of my own flesh that I desired these things and I went for them. And after striving to get rid of my debt, there was no way I was able to balance my life in and balance the things that I wanted with it. So a lot of things I had to sacrifice, even vehicles. When I first moved in with the Saints community, I sold my car, gone. Had to do it because it was going to be a liability. Just another bill, another car that we wouldn't need. We had enough. Even living simple. The cars that we have are not the most fancy vehicles. Not at all. I don't think any car that we have is over 2004. All of them have over at least 150,000 miles on them, but they work, they drive, and not aspiring for the fancy things in life was big in terms of being frugal and knowing that the goal at hand was important. And I even think living communally with saints, you really learn that a lot of things in life are not about what you aspire for or what you want for yourself, but what is best for the whole. And getting the fancy things of life, nah, there's no there's no room for that. So definitely learning to live simple was big. Another thing that I learned was big time prayer, and not asking amiss. I say that because along the road for getting out of debt, man, there was definitely a lot of prayer that went involved into asking for strength, asking the Most High to continue to give me the willpower to go to work, to operate on such low hours of sleep, asking for him to actually line things up so I can get more funds in, being able to balance everything. And man, I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor the Most High's children, we never begging for bread. And the more I prayed, and I knew in my prayers that I was not asking amiss, not asking for my own lust, but knowing that the thing I asked for was according to what he aspired for the saints as his child, me. And he did it. And he was able to line things up for me so that I can get out of debt. And another thing is that every individual in life is a product of their environment. I said that because definitely before coming to this ministry, my mindset was not focused on getting out of debt. No way. Was not thinking about that at all. I was very content with my debt. That's just the American dream. You spend your way into debt and operate on the lust of this world. And that was me before the faith until I heard Pastor Dowell saying, gotta get out of debt, get out of the city, all these things speaking. Because us as a Hebrew, we have a certain lot in life. And the wisdom that the book speaks on is clear. So I followed through. So definitely being under this ministry, I learned that we all are a product of our environment. There is a big time law of attraction. And the more that you push toward a goal, people that are of the same mind will be attracted to you. And you being in this ministry, Straightway Truth, this big. So I know it can be very hard, especially if you got out of debt. We all have the little things that we're dealing with, but debt is a big thing that I really see a lot of saints come in with. And, everybody has their own lot. Everybody holds their own leadership ahead of them. And I would say whatever leadership tells you to do, do. And I can say for me, I reaped the benefits because I received a righteous man, and I received righteous man's reward. So I just wanted to say thank you to Pastor Dowell for being an example to me first. And I thank the Most High for giving me the ability to actually hear what he said and actually follow suit. And because of that, I'm debt free. Glory to the King. So that stage is out the way. Now we got a lot of big goals ahead of us, a lot of things to focus our mind to, and we focused on it. But Pastor Dowell, I want to say personally to you, much love and bless you. Shalom, Shepherd, and shalom, Straightway. Bless y'all. Shalom.